Guys, welcome to Sun and Fun. We are out here at the Horizon booth down the flight line. Out here trying to be safe, checking everything out. Quick little walk around here while guys get into the room. Airplanes everywhere. Here at Sun and Fun. Sun and Fun. Well, hopefully some guys come in. Beautiful Florida day. And we are hanging out down here at the Horizon Hobby Tent, checking out what's going on. Guys getting pictures. And look at this guy. He's hidden. Say hi, Jason.
Hi, Jason.
So, if you guys don't know who Jason is, Jason Merkel is the, what do you call it, product developer for E-flite?
Brand manager.
I can't ever keep it all straight.
Yeah, I used to work in product development, but they kicked me out, and they decided that it'd be better off marketing instead.
Okay. So hopefully guys can hear us. Jason?
Let us know. Can you hear me?
I haven't got a comment yet. There's guys watching, but I haven't seen any comments
I
yet.
listened for a second. It sounded fine.
Okay, Lori's listening over to the side. So Jason, do you want to show us around the Horizon Hobby booth a little bit today?
Yep. This is the last day of the show, so we did have a couple extra models here that aren't here now because we had some other guys bring those in, and they had to pack them up and take them out today. We actually had the giant Hangar 9 FX Cup, huge one, 100 to 200 cc. That was a big draw. A lot of people saw that and said, "Wow, I didn't know RC airplanes could be that big. Didn't know you guys still did gas powered and wood ARPs," and yes, we do. But most of what we have on display here is a little bit of our most popular airplanes, a lot of scale aircraft because we're at the full-scale air show, and also a lot of trainer aircraft because, of course, the number one question we get in the booth is, where do I start? So we're coming here and look at a few of the airplanes that we've got on display. Some of these are, planes that you guys already know about, of course. So we got a little bit of the Ultra Micro selection here. We haven't had as many Ultra Micro releases lately, but we're going to start ramping those up for a number of reasons. We've had a transition in our components, so a lot of the airplanes that we offered before, UMX Pitts is a great example. We had that airplane for many, many, many years, but unfortunately we can no longer make the components that it came with. We can't get that Spectrum chip we used to use anymore. So models like that can potentially come back down the road with new electronics, which we've developed for our latest releases. Of course, the A10 now comes with basically the power system and electronics from the recently released Citation. It's about a year old now, I guess, the Citation. So we went from the 28 millimeter fans to the 30 millimeter fans. We beefed up the nose. We added some carbon in here, so if you crash, you don't snap the nose right off like the original used to do. Oh, it also now has safe. The original A10 did not, UMX A10 did not have safe, so now this has safe select. It also has battery telemetry. So if you're using a Spectrum Airwear equipped transmitter with updated firmware, you'll get the battery voltage real time in your transmitter. It's kind of nice because then you don't have to worry about flying to a timer. You can potentially have that alarm set so you get to that before you go to LVC on the ESC, of course. So this thing we just started shipping a couple weeks ago, selling like hotcakes. People loving it. Real quick note on this. I know a couple of guys have run into this obstacle. If I get the hatch off. So this has the new IC2 connector. We changed from the JST connector because unfortunately with the 3-cell battery and the 30 millimeter fan units, we were pulling well over 10 amps, and that's really pushing the limit of the JST. We have the JST in the Longitude. It's worked well for most people, but some people have, especially on a hot day, flying multiple batteries in a row, actually had the JST melt. So we switched to the IC2, which is a new connector. It's a new smart compatible connector. It is a an all kind of its own design. Unfortunately, we couldn't make it backwards compatible with our EC2. It is not compatible with an XT30, but you can either remove it, replace it with a JST if you don't mind having a little less power and that risk of potentially overheating the connector, or you can put an XT60. I've seen people put an EC3 or an IC3 on there. These IC2s are a little hard to come by right now. We're working to expedite those. We have an adapter that goes from this to a JST. We also have charge leads for this to go with the compatible 3S850 battery. Yeah, it's kind of a bummer that we ran out of those faster than we thought, but we've got those coming as soon as we can. So be sure to keep an eye out for those if you've been waiting on them. Be sure to back order them if you haven't already. And then, yeah, this is obviously for a lot of the guys watching right now, probably not going to be things they're the most interested in. But it's been.
Hey, we still show it to them.
This is the most popular part of the booth. A lot of people come by this weekend. They say, hey, I've never flown before. Where do I start? This isn't every trainer that we sell, but this is probably our top choices. So at the top here, we have last year's release, the Mini Aeroscout, which is a very simple model. It's made out of EPP. This thing is literally indestructible. You can throw this thing at the ground, you can fly it straight into the ground, it'll just bounce. You can keep flying it. The benefit is it's $99. It's very durable. It's got the pusher configuration, so you won't break the prop in the motor mount. The one downside of this is it doesn't have AS3X and safe. So it doesn't have technology. It's kind of like old school flying. It doesn't have ailerons. We had to do that to keep the cost down, to keep the size and weight down. It's a good trainer for a young kid who's kind of hard on things. Some models like the Sport Cub S, which we don't have here, it's a really great trainer aircraft, but it's fragile, relatively speaking.
Right.
So you hand it to a little kid and he breaks it before he even gets to fly it. This thing, he can bang it into the wall, he can bang it into the floor, and you can have it just fine. It'll continue to live and it'll continue to be able to fly it. But that said, what we've been telling people is this is great if you just want to try it, if you're not sure, maybe you got a young kid. But if you're serious about getting in the hobby, this is the first level for me. This is the ever popular Aeroscout. This is now the Aeroscout 2. We didn't change the decals, but we just started shipping the second version. The only changes in the Aeroscout 2, it's very simple. Only the transmitter changed and the receiver changed. The whole airframe is the same. It now has the DXS transmitter instead of the DXE. It now has a 631 receiver instead of a 636. That's it. The motor's the same, the PSC is the same. And that's one quick note. To keep the price at $199 for the ready to fly and $149 for the bind and fly, we were not able to add in a smart ESC. And so it doesn't have telemetry in the Aeroscout 2, but again, you do get the better DXS transmitter, and you do get that new 631 forward programming compatible receiver. So very popular airplane. Carbon Cub, very popular, especially at this show. Everybody knows what the Carbon Cub is in the full-scale industry. Also, Mike Patey's wife, Chandra Patey, happens to fly one, so a lot of people have seen it because of that. That one's $300 ready to go. Also comes with the DXS, of course, and the smart battery. It's very popular. And then, of course, the Apprentice.
Oh yeah.
That's a classic.
Go,
That's the
Old
best.
Faithful.
Yeah, we say, guys, if you're really serious and you got a local flying club, this is where you go.
The
This
Apprentice.
is the top of the heap when it comes to trainers, so to speak. So
Yep.
some guys really love the scale look. Great, we got the choice for that. $300. You don't mind the pusher configuration, which is great because you crash and you don't break anything.
You don't break anything. Yep.
$200. It's a great deal, and we've been explaining to guys that you buy this combination or this combination, you get this transmitter, this 3-cell battery, and you can fly. For example, the recently released E-flite T28 is your second airplane with that DXS controller or transmitter with that 3-cell 2200. And what's nice is even that T28 now having smart technology, the LEDs on this DXS for the battery telemetry do work. So really cool because you don't have to buy a second airplane, another radio. You can just buy the airplane, and it makes the transition to your next airplane a lot easier, more affordable for more people.
Great.
And then these always do well at air shows. People love warbirds.
Can't
Your
go wrong.
audience does, yeah.
Can't go wrong with the Mustang.
Yep, Mustang's always popular.
You guys have seen me fly the death out of this one. We've got very many videos of this Mustang if you want to go out and see it be flown.
It's a terrible flying airplane.
Terrible.
It's hideous to look at.
Yes.
I just, it's a real struggle for me to see it here in the booth every day.
Right.
Only because I can't fly it. It flies fantastic. It looks great. I love it. It's by far my favorite Mustang ever. I was trying to count not long ago how many Mustangs I've flown, and I got well over 25. I don't know that I captured all the ones that I've flown, but this is the best flying one I've flown.
Hands down. Even out of mine, too.
Yep.
And once, I have some videos on it, guys. Once you kind of get the landings figured out, you don't want to three-point this plane.
Right.
This one likes wheel landings. Yep. And it will fly great, guys. So go back and check it out.
Which is a little different.
Which is
than
the
Focke-Wulf.
opposite of this
Yeah.
one.
So the Focke-Wulf is an interesting beast. I love it, by the way. It flies very similar to the Mustang, very similar power system, power to weight ratio. Of course, we learned some things from the Mustang that we improved on here. For example, we've got plastic now at the wing joints. We've got plastic around all of the edges of the hatch and the battery compartment to protect things. We just did things that we learned from the Mustang a little better on the Focke-Wulf.
It really is. It really is the Mustang with just improvements on it. But, you know, and flight-wise, okay, so a guy that wants the faster of the two, it'd be this one.
Yeah.
But a guy that wants the easier landing airplane to me, it'd be this one.
Yes, easier landing, except for one consideration.
Okay.
So I've flown it now on grass, on pavement. What I found is that when you're flying on pavement, in
Okay.
particular with the Focke-Wulf, and it's no wind. Let's say there's
Ground
DEFCON
loop's
day,
easy.
It is easy to ground loop, and that's where you want on this airplane. You want a 3-point landing,
Mhm.
which is unusual for a warbird.
It is.
The opposite of the Mustang. You never want a 3-point.
Never,
Mustang.
never, 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 never.
This guy, you do on pavement with low to no wind,
Mhm.
for sure. On grass, though, you don't have to. Wheel
Right.
landing on grass, no problem. There's a couple of reasons for that. One, you've got this long tail movement. The tail wheel's way on the back, and that tail wheel's pretty hard, so it doesn't have a lot of traction. So once it touches down, it can skid a little bit rather than grab, and it makes it kind of hard to keep things on track. If you got a little bit of a headwind, no problem. Keeps the tail flying, keeps the rudder kind of working for you until the tail sets down, usually at a lower speed, and then you have better ground control. But that said, it's not hard to land.
No.
I don't want people to think
No.
it's hard to land.
No,
It's
this
not.
is guys that have flown. I would compare this to a P-47.
Yeah.
This
very
is
similar.
it. Really feels like a P-47 to me.
That's a good analogy. A good comparison.
Maybe guys that have the 1.2
Uh-huh.
P-47 and want to know what is the 6S bird to go to. That it really is.
Yes, I would say it's definitely equivalent to that. You were right. It's a little slower than the Mustang.
It's a little slower.
We've clocked it 5 to 7 miles per hour slower, depending on the day, depending on the battery and the conditions. It's no slouch though. It's over 80 miles per hour
Right,
still, which is
right.
pretty darn quick for a plane.
No, I don't mean it like a bad thing, but yeah.
Yeah, and it looks cool. It sounds. What I like about the sound is we've got that functional
Right.
cooling fan on the back
Let's
of
see
the spinner
here.
there. And it makes this kind of whooshy sound that's hard to describe, but it just sounds kind of cool. Obviously, it doesn't sound as cool as the engine would have, but
Right.
it's still pretty cool sound.
I love it, and the details too, where like these screw in instead of gluing in. So
Yeah.
this is something nice. I mean, they really some of the stuff in this kit, guys. Well, they fall on the ground when Jason drops them too, but yeah, they go into brass threaded
Yeah, it's a really
inserts.
nice
I mean, everything that they did on these, they're really getting them taken done.
Yeah, one of the bigger things we did on this.
We got some viewers now. Good guys coming in now. Welcome everybody.
Partly because of the long struts that a Focke-Wulf has, we
Right.
went ahead and beefed up the landing gear area.
Right.
And although we tried to avoid that inconsistency in going from foam to wood on top surfaces, we went ahead and added plastic mounts here for the wing. It goes all the way through from the bottom
But you
side
really
to the top.
can't see it
It's
unless
hard to
you
see.
get down on it. I mean, it's
Yeah.
right
It
here,
almost looks like a panel.
but the way they painted it, you really can't see it.
Yeah, so we learned that lesson from the Mustang to put that plastic all the way through to the top skin so it doesn't
And
stress
I
it.
did stress mine a few times when I've hit it hard.
Yeah.
But you know,
It
it is what it
happens.
is.
And some guys have touched it up, and obviously if you wanted to prevent that in the future, one thing you could do before you fly it, even the first time, is pop the retract out and then beef up the inside of that foam, maybe with some fiberglass or
Right.
something.
It's not that you need it, though.
No.
I mean, like
It's
I
a
said,
cosmetic.
it's a cosmetic thing. But yeah,
And then also popular, always popular.
all the jets. Yep.
Yeah. And what's cool now that we have the Habu, Habu STS, which is a smart trainer with safe, and I know it's a little controversial. The guys are still saying, hey, you can't learn to fly with a jet. Yes, you can. This is a whole new ballgame now. So a guy says, I want to get into jets. We say, you buy this as your first airplane.
Hang on, guys. Jet going by. I don't know if I'm gonna get out to it or not.
Was it F-20?
Hang on 1 second, guys. There's a jet. You can't hear anything when the jets take off. Hey, we're live at Sun and Fun, so you know if your jet goes by, it's just gonna happen.
Yeah, so the Habu is a great trainer and also a great first jet. So we don't sell a bind and fly version of this. We only sell it as a ready to fly and a plug and play right now. The reason for that is the ready to fly includes a flight controller, which has a barometer.
Right.
It also allows us to connect the LAS sensor to it. So if we had sold this as a bind and fly, it would have been about $80 more than the plug and play. And no one's going to buy it at that because it's almost the price of a Viper, which has retracts and flaps. And a lot of guys say, oh, let's just have retracts and flaps. The point is simple, durable.
Right.
That's why we don't have them on there. And you know what? That's why it's so easy to fly. It's light. You can float this thing. I can land this slower without flaps than any jet in the market with flaps.
I will agree. It lands very easy. And guys that want to see this one also, we have flown this on the channel too.
Oh, you have? Great. This
Yes.
is an awesome airplane. It's fun to fly even for an experience.
It is.
I love it.
And we,
My dad was telling me that one guy at the field who's anti-jet because he's had bad success. My dad let him fly his, and then he immediately went out and bought one, and now that guy is like the best salesman. My dad just messaged me the other day, saying he sold 5 in the last couple of weeks because he's just telling everybody it's a jet, but man, it flies like a trainer. And it's fun to fly too. You know, it's fast, it's aerobatic, it can do things like that. You learn to fly this, and then we tell guys you transition into the F-15 down on the bottom there. That's a good second jet, or a good first jet if you already have fixed wing experience. And then after that, you really have a lot more options. You know, the A-10 is a good option, F-16 is a good option. Of course, the Viper is a phenomenal option. We don't have the Viper here today.
but if you want to see it, we've done the Viper also. Actually, that video for us did really well, the Viper video.
Yeah, that's a great airplane.
I think
that's why.
Yeah. You guys know my affection for this airplane. This won Plane of the Year on the Boozers channel 2 years ago, I believe.
I'm biased because I think the Thunderbirds are the greatest thing since sliced bread. I grew up in Las Vegas, the home of the Thunderbirds, and they actually flew by earlier this week.
Yeah?
I was bummed because every other year at Sun and Fun in Oshkosh, they rotate the Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds.
Mhm.
So this year is Blue Angels. Last year, which got canceled, was supposed to be the Thunderbirds. We're standing outside, and all of a sudden, the Thunderbirds fly by. Just a couple days ago. It's an awesome sight. And of course, all the guys were like, oh, did Jason see that? And I loved it because they were heading to the Cocoa Beach Air Show,
Right.
which, if you saw that, TVM Avenger had to dunk itself yesterday. I don't know if you saw that.
I
Very
did see it.
unfortunate. But yeah, it was cool to see them. And then we were lucky because we got to see the first ever public showing of the Blue Angels with the new Super Hornets.
Right.
For the last couple decades, the Super Hornet's been around, but they've been flying the OG Hornets. And it's amazing because you can see they're bigger. So they fly, I think, as high as they flew before, but the planes are closer seeming because they're so much bigger. They're louder for sure. They're maybe seemingly a little bit more sluggish in my opinion, but obviously the precision of the Blue Angels is freaking amazing.
Right.
Amazing. And then we got a little bit of an assortment of some of our scale airplanes. You know, scale does very well at these air shows. A lot of people know the Air Tractor. There's one of these full scale on display. And I think a lot of guys don't realize how big this thing is.
The Air Tractor is a very big
giant.
airplane in real life.
It's
You
kinda
guys
like,
know too. We've done the Air Tractor here.
Yeah.
Loved the Air Tractor.
Yes, I agree.
This is actually. Oh, we got a jet taking off. Hang on. Let me run out here.
Oh.
Anyway, that was a big one.
I think we need one of those in each
Yeah,
flight.
I do too.
C-17 is like the skull of jets.
Right.
Skull of jets.
I had to run out there for him real
It's a
quick.
cool plane. And so we got the Twin
Yeah.
Otter, of course, which is very popular.
You guys know we love the Twin Otter. We've done the floats, we've done the land. This airplane is fantastic. We also have the big one now. We loved
Yes,
the little
the
one so
giant.
much we wanted the giant.
Yeah, we've got a lot of requests to bring a bigger Twin Otter to the market. And so, hey, if you guys are interested, you think we should bring a Hangar 9 or a bigger E-flite one to market, mention that in the comments.
You guys hearing it?
The more that we see, the more likely it is to happen.
He wants to hear you guys looking for that Hangar 9.
Yes.
Bring it
And then
back.
Be very popular.
Bring it back.
T-28, which, we came out, it was a couple months ago. It's the 4th iteration. A lot of guys are like, why would you come out with a plane 4 times? And it's so good. That's why. It's better than it's ever been. They're selling faster than we ever thought we would sell them. A lot of guys are buying them now for club racing. That's a big popular
That would be fun to race these.
You can
could
do
get
a
whole
3S
bunch of
class,
them.
you can do a 4S class, you can do an unlimited class. And I like it because it's a good, easy to fly airplane that most people can pylon race or fly. They can do aerobatics with. Great airplane for that. And then,
Jeff
of course,
says bring it back, but not in foam. Well, yeah, that's what we said when we
that's
said
the
Hangar
idea.
9, guys.
Well, and, Hangar 9 could be foam, I guess.
I guess,
but-
yeah. And loved it.
Ultimate, yep. It's very popular here because people love biplanes. Well, we should have probably bought the pits. I was kicking myself because there's
Should've
quite a
told me
few
I
around
had
here.
one.
Yeah, that's a popular airplane in this market. But the Ultimate's a newer release, so we went ahead and brought that instead.
Ultimate's great. When
And then
plane
we
goes
got
out of
some
fun.
of our cars, very popular cars and boats on display.
Yeah.
I know
I've
Air
never
Max.
actually seen this in real life.
Yeah,
This
look at
thing is so big.
And look at that.
Like, it doesn't do justice to the pictures you normally see of this thing. Like, it's huge. That is the biggest
This
RC
thing
car.
does
I've
like 60 miles per hour.
I know.
You stick a couple of 4S packs in there. And you know what's nice, guys? These Arma cars, they have all this battery protection. You don't have to use a hard pack in here. You could use your soft
Right, because
airplane
they have the trays that the battery
and
actually
this
sets in.
big wall here to protect things. So you could use your airplane batteries in a lot of these Arma vehicles. So it's got me more interested in making my way back into surface. I used to do a lot of surface RC like 20 years ago, but they kind of went on a whole other path with battery. And I don't want to buy hard case batteries I can't use in my airplanes. But now with these Arma vehicles, I have that crossover potential. That thing is cool. And then I don't know if a lot of guys know this about Arma cars, but they put these little holes in the top of these skid bar, or this like roll bar, and they have these screws up top. Because a lot of times they flip over and skid on their tops. You can put little flints in there, and when you're skidding across the ground,
It shoots sparks.
Dude, it's awesome. Awesome. The Arma guys, they got it down. This is bashing, and bashing is, it's kind of like skull flying with airplanes. This is the coolest, craziest stuff you can do.
Right. And this is bigger than I thought it was too.
Yeah,
I thought this was a 1/10 scale car, but it's not.
Yeah, the Felony's a beast.
The
And
Felony
same
is
thing,
one big car.
You can have your soft packs in there. You don't have to run hard packs if you don't want to, because you got these nice battery trays in there. And this is 6S. You can run a 4S, so 2 2s, or a 3, or single 4, or So this is set up. See this wire harness? Pretty cool. So with that loop in there, you can run it on one battery. You pull that loop out, and now you can run it on 2 batteries in series. So you can run it on, again, 4S single pack, you can run it on 2 3s. You got a lot of options. And this thing is fast, 60, 70 miles per hour.
And this is a new car.
Yeah, rock bouncer. This one I'm really excited about because, I love rock crawlers. Like this Wrangler, this is actually oh my gosh, the truck. What's the truck called? Not the Wrangler.
Jeep?
Yeah, it's the Wrangler.
Oh, it's the Gladiator.
Yeah.
There you go. Nah, it's all right.
We do also have a Wrangler as well. But rock crawlers are slow, right? They crawl. This rock bouncer, it does rock crawling, and then you can punch it and rip up a mountain at like 40, 50, 60 miles per hour. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, I got to get myself one of these. This thing is something else. And I know this is pretty new for us.
Yeah, that one's very new. I think it's only been out like a week or 2.
Yeah, I think it's done very, very, very well. And this is cool. This is a desert buggy kind of racer, more modern day scale model. Look at this thing. We got the little...
Oh yeah, he's got the little thing to keep his helmet cool.
His helmet cool, yep. It's got lights on it. Now, by the way, guys, a lot of these cars have lights on them now, which is kind of it's a silly, simple thing, right? But it's cool.
P38 next.
Yeah.
I love everybody's request.
This is good. And then, a very popular Gravedigger.
Oh yeah, you can't go wrong with Gravedigger. And this thing's huge too.
Oh yeah, and that thing rips.
Y'all don't want to see this.
Nah, ignore that. Disregard. So we sell a lot of these Gravediggers. This is the race kind of like real scale version. We also have an axial version. It's like more of a slower one. But this low-C one is freaking sweet.
Everybody I've been talking to has just been loving them.
Yep. Fast boat, airboat. This is cool because this runs on 2-cell, 3-cell, 4-cell battery. You don't have to have a hard pack for this either. And then you can run it on pretty smooth water surfaces or better, but also on wet grass, on snow. That's pretty cool for that. Pretty durable. I miss those old Flightcraft airboats. I have a bunch of those. If anybody's familiar with those, I'm surprised. But yeah, so we got a little bit of surface stuff here because this is also popular in the world today.
Oh yeah.
Big business for us in particular. And it's great to kind of share that crossover potential. And then you can flip around here and show we got a couple of kids using the real flight simulator. This has been popular all weekend.
Can't go.
The way we're running that is we've actually got a little laptop and we got an HDMI cable hooked into the big screen TV. And that's how we're putting it on the big screen there. Pretty simple. I think a lot of guys don't realize that you can do that.
Right.
It's just a simple HDMI cable and boom, you're ready to go. And we're just running like really tiny little cheap, almost like Chromebooks.
Yeah, they don't need to be a very fancy computer to run real flight. But yeah,
we have some radios on
the best airplane you can ever buy for your first airplane.
Oh,
there it is, right there. Crash as many as you want.
It's an interesting conversation. I tell people the price and they go, but that's as much as that airplane you told me to buy. And I explain to them, yes it is, but you will save money, you will actually learn to fly faster, become a better pilot, and you can try a lot of things on the simulator. Plus, it's a great, not only tool, but it's entertaining. A couple of these guys have been back multiple times.
Oh my gosh, yeah, kids love it.
They love it.
And I also see you've got some of the G2 batteries out here.
Yeah, we got some G2 batteries, we've got some of the G2 chargers on display. you know, it's kind of nice to be able to show people that difference between a G1 and a G2. So obviously a G2 does not have a balance connector. G1 has a balance connector, and I know this is controversial for a lot of people. Oh my gosh, I'll never buy a battery without a balance connector. We get that. It's not for everyone. That's why we're going to continue selling G1s. If you have a regular non-smart charger, you can use this, no problem. A G2 technically requires a smart charger because the balancer that's built in here is communicating to the charger through this wire. So there's a balancer. It is balancing the battery. In fact, it's always balancing the battery. In fact, G1s are always balancing, self-balancing. I don't know if a lot of guys know that. They do self-discharge storage. They also self-balance. This just does it at a lower rate. The chip that's in G2s does it 3 times faster, and that's why you don't need an extra.
It also will discharge 3 times faster.
Exactly.
Now,
so now instead of taking a couple days to discharge, the storage voltage it takes, you know, some hours.
Right.
Instead. So we like showing that off. Of course, we got the new G2 2200. This is my favorite new charger. I love this thing.
Yeah, I hadn't got this one yet. I've
So
got
it's got
every other smart charger. What?
Yeah, it's got both connectors on
Look
there.
at
Yeah.
that. Now we don't have to have that weird cable.
No more silly cable.
Oh man, I guess I'm going to have to buy one of
This
these.
is cool. It's 2-port 200 watts, but you can actually bias the power to one side, so you get up to 380 watts on one port. So you can charge a 6S5000 at 15 amps on one port,
Wow.
or you can charge them, you know, 2 on the separate ports at about 8 amps.
Which is usually plenty to do a 1C for anything. You can go a little over 1C for
Yeah,
anything.
so that's about 1.5 C. So if you didn't just charge your battery all the way, you're probably done in 30 minutes already.
Great.
So we got a little bit of those on display. Some of the NX transmitters.
Some of the radios.
This is my favorite new transmitter. Love
We've got
this.
the NX6. We've been loving it.
This is the radio that I tell everybody to buy.
Yes.
A lot of people say, oh, I only need a 6-channel, or the NX6 has that extra 7th channel. But guys, you have to understand, more and more of our airplanes, even Bind and Fly, even Draco, needs 8 channels.
Draco needs it.
And I can tell you, it doesn't need it.
Well,
It can fly
it
on
wants
6.
it.
You're gonna, if you want everything individual, you want motor reversing and you want safe select on a separate switch, you gotta have an 8-channel transmitter. And Draco's not gonna be the exception. There's gonna be multiple airplanes we release this year that you can fly with a 6. It's better with a 7, but it's best with an 8.
And I hope there's more stuff that's going to utilize that light controller y'all got in the back.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Now that we got that done, we can probably do that.
That is cool. So I guess, are we going over there?
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Star of the show, right?
The star of the show. All you guys have been wanting to see this probably.
So our poor TV died. We were playing some Draco videos up there. For those that haven't seen it, we're releasing.
Hey, it's your friend. All right, Aeroshell team.
We've been releasing a video pretty much every week. You know, one video a week, official video on Draco between the announcement day and the shipping day, which is next week. And this past week we released another flight talk video where I show a little bit more of the aerobatics it's capable of, some more rough field landings and the reversing in action. And so this particular model, Mike was kind enough. He came over and he signed the propeller and he signed the hatch for us. Pretty cool. He stopped by for a bit. You know, it's funny. Mike is probably the most famous person at this entire show. This is a huge show. I don't know if guys
I don't know if you guys realize how big Sun and Fun is. This is
It's tens of thousands.
huge show right now.
Yep, tens of thousands of people. It's really the first big show in the air show industry or air show segment since, you know, everything unfortunately hit. And we're being careful, wearing masks. You know, everybody's kind of keeping some distance.
Social
around,
distancing.
being
I mean,
careful,
man,
and
we're all being good, guys.
we're all being good, and it's been good. I think it's been a success, and I hope, hopefully they use this as their barometer on whether or not they do Oshkosh. But yeah, there she is in all her glory, shock absorbing gear.
Shock
and all.
absorbing. Can't wait to show you guys.
You know, maybe we'll do another video after so we talk a little bit more about some of the hints and tips and tidbits of things that we've learned. But I know a lot of guys are going to be asking, when is it coming? When am I getting mine? So they're on the way to stores right now, just ahead of the coordinated launch, which is just coming up this week, this coming Friday. So
right.
April 23rd is coordinated launch day. It's a little different than we've ever done a release on the airplane side. The idea is that stores will get them, and every store gets it a little different time. So we shipped them all last week. Some of them will be getting them in the next couple of days. They can't sell them until Friday. And then anybody that ordered from our website directly, theirs will start getting shipped on Thursday. So some guys will get them as soon as Friday. It depends on how close they are to our California or Illinois warehouse. But most everyone will have them around within a couple days of each other. And that's the first batch. We're going to have more batches coming in. But admittedly, we are really, really deep in back orders and pre-orders on these. This thing, we knew it was hot. We knew it was going to be big, but it blew our minds. It blew our socks. Within the first few hours of the announcement day, we sold out of the first shipments. Within the first day, we sold more than we thought we'd sell in the first year. And so we got a lot of catch up to do, and we're already working on it. We've already got more orders in. We're working with the factory to expedite. And we do have trickle shipments coming in, so even though you may not get one next week, do not cancel your pre-order. Do not cancel your back order. Otherwise, you'll have to get back in line. Stay where you're at because you're going to get one sooner. You don't get charged until it comes into stock. Your local hobby shop, maybe they ordered 5. They might only get 2 or 3. So stay in communication with them. No one's getting preferential treatment. Everything is going out in the order in which the order came in. So if a guy ordered it from his hobby shop or from our store, as long as that hobby shop ordered it right away, then they're in line with everybody else. Everybody's kind of equal play. So it's something that's, again, a little different for us, but we want to make sure that it's as fair as possible for everyone. And then be sure to, again, don't cancel your back order, don't cancel your pre-order, otherwise you're just going to get further down the list. Right now, we expect once these start shipping, we're going to have another big boost in the orders. So stay where you're at now, and you probably will get one in the next 3 to 6 months. If you cancel and reorder, you may not be getting one until the end of the year. So keep that in mind. A lot of great info on this, so I assume you've got some videos coming, right?
Oh, F22. I do. But we're all deaf right now.
Yeah. That's the only negative thing at a big air show like this, the sounds.
There's an F22 that just took off, so it's a little loud right now. Hi, you haven't seen my face the whole broadcast. Yes, we do know a little bit about it. We're excited for Friday. That's what we can say so far.
Yep.
Guys, this airplane is fantastic. I have flown it. It's fantastic. I cannot wait for you guys to actually start getting your hands on these airplanes. I think you're going to be amazed. I don't know how to explain it. It's like having a 6S Timber there. That's kind of where I put it.
Flyability-wise, very similar to that. But at the same time, it's like having one of our extra scale warbirds.
Right. But it's like an extra scale airplane with the flight characteristics. It's just a very fun airplane. I don't know.
There's some things that I don't know that you can really put a finger on or put a value on in words.
And I love this.
When you pull it out of the box, when you see how it's packaged, I mean the packaging is like crazy, right? But on top of that, as you start pulling the parts out, you just see all the detail and all the little bits and little engineering extra little things that we did.
Like there's little handles right here that you don't even notice them until you're putting it together. But you can see these little black handles to grab on, and every little rivet on the airplane. You don't see it until you get it in front of you and you go, wow. And the other thing that I find funny is from this point of view, it doesn't look as big as when it's sitting on a table from the back.
Yes.
For some reason,
it's a big airplane.
I don't know why. When you're looking at it this way, it doesn't look as big as when it's turned the other way to you, and it's huge.
It's a big airplane.
It really
not
is.
As big volume-wise as like a carbon hub. But it's got that level of presence.
The wing, when you actually get up on it, guys, it's a huge airplane.
A lot of wing area.
And that's something I don't know if it's come across in a lot of videos. It didn't to me at first until I got it and I went, oh my God, this is huge.
Yeah. Like 1,000 square inches. I mean, it's a beast of an airplane.
Right.
Beast of an airplane.
What I need to figure out though is how do I get this for my airplane?
You didn't bring yours today because if he's here still, Michael signed it for
I know, I should have done that.
Yeah, there's a little quick view of the battery compartment. We'll show guys that. You can see the carbon that we've got in here. We've got carbon throughout this airplane. Lots of places up through the cabin to support it. Even though it's got the clear windows, we had to make sure that structure was strong. And that's one of the reasons we didn't do clear windows in the past, because it takes a lot of extra weight and cost and complication to do that.
And the motor is huge. The other thing,
massive.
when you actually see it in person, I don't know if it's come across in some of the other videos, but this motor is huge.
Yeah,
and this was special for this airplane, right?
It was. Yeah, it's very similar to the motor that's in the P-51 and also the Focke-Wulf, similar class motor. 60 size class, basically.
Right.
But it has unlimited vertical with a 6S
yeah,
battery. It's
easily.
More than scale power.
And I flew mine on a 7000 and it didn't care anything about the weight.
I like the 7000.
I did too.
Long flight time, I got like 15, 20 minutes shooting touch and go.
Yeah, my sweet spot was 5000s or 7000s.
So
I haven't tried it on the 4F.
5000 is the sweet 6S 5000 by far sweet spot.
Right.
4000 is great though. It actually is noticeably lighter with a 6S 4000 and feels a little floaty.
Huh.
You get a little less flight time, of course, but you still get 5 to 10 minutes. No problem.
Right.
You get like 5 to 10 with the 4000, 8 to 12 with the 5000. 15, probably 10 to 15 plus for the 7,000. And some guys are going to fly it for probably 30 minutes. Just lumbering around slow and easy, doing some light touch and goes.
Yeah, pay it forward. The motor mount, it's definitely nice and strong looking in this
meaty.
airplane. Yeah, meaty. Meaty. He said beefy.
Somebody's going to break it.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody always finds some way to break
Somehow,
something.
somebody figures a way to break it. But yeah, there it is, guys. I know y'all been wanting to see it. So yeah, I guess let's poke out of the tent for just a minute.
Yeah, let's say hi.
Hey, look, yeah, there's Allie. Yeah, we'll say hi to everybody real quick.
You guys enjoying the show?
We got 70 people in here right now watching.
Hey,
Welcome to Sun and Fun.
There's Allie, if y'all can recognize them with our masks on.
Yeah, incognito today.
That's right.
world famous.
World famous, the man
And also
himself.
world famous Andy Ziegler.
I don't know about that, but
Oh, come on.
famous, sure. Hey, everybody.
So
But
Andy is the man in charge of all of our trade shows and events. He puts together, obviously, the products to make sure we have the cool stands to display. We got these really cool blue
Oh, it looks great.
PVC stands.
I love
Yeah, one
this.
they built
This
for
is
the,
great.
Huge shout out to Isaac.
Oh, yes. Shout out to Isaac as well.
But
Cool
yeah,
stand that we'll hopefully have that again in future shows as well. It's
oh, that
kind
looks
of cool
great.
seeing that.
The whole booth looks great. Here, let me step out here real quick. Get y'all a shot of the Horizon booth. It looks great, guys. So if you're at Sun and Fun today, they've been here all week. Come on out. Say hi to Papa. Say hi to everybody.
Oh, no,
Jason said I'm out of here.
making room for you.
But yeah, guys, if you're in the area, come out, say hi to these guys. There's a couple hours left. We're at Sun and Fun. What do they call it? It's called Air Adventure, isn't it?
No, that's Oshkosh.
Or that's
Air
Oshkosh.
Adventure. No, I think it's just Sun and Fun.
Is it just
Aerospace Expo?
Aerospace Expo? There it is.
It says so right there.
Oh, look, there it is right there, yeah. Here we go. I always just heard of it as Sun and Fun. I never heard the bottom part. That's what I get for living too close to it, right?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, guys, but yeah, airplanes everywhere. There's one taking off. All right. Uh-oh, what did I do? There it is. But yeah, guys, we've had a good time out here. I'm glad we got to come poke around, take a peek. I'd take y'all for a little walk right now, but I don't know how far I can get out of here. I don't know my way around it yet. Give you a little peek though. Let's take a quick look. I know it's kind of shaky when I go to walking. We'll take a quick peek though. The Blue Angels will be flying later today. Like I said, if you're in the Florida area. Airplanes, airplanes, airplanes. At Sun and Fun. But yeah, it's a huge event, guys. There's kind of a look. There's this taxiway that kind of goes through the whole event. We're kind of at the end of it here. It kind of wraps back in there. They've got food vendors and all kinds of stuff around here. There's another airplane. Airplanes flying all day. Sun and Fun's the place to be this time of year. There comes Miss Boozer herself. But anyway, guys, all right, let's see here. So I hope y'all have enjoyed your little bit of a look around the Horizon tent today here at Sun and Fun. We may go live a little later if we find another fun booth to be at, but we wanted to come up and pop in and say hi to these guys. I hope y'all have enjoyed the little walk around. Please like, share, subscribe, hang out with your buddies, get out there and fly some new toys with your friends. We will see y'all in the next video. So I'm gonna let you guys go as soon as I can remember how to work my phone. Have a great day. Thank you, Dennis. Guys, it's always a good time. Like I said,